This is VOA News in Washington. I'm Jeff Custer. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit to Washington continues with an address to Congress and a state dinner at the White House later Thursday. Modi and U.S. President Joe Biden held talks in a joint news conference Thursday, as VOA's chief national correspondent Steve Herman reports.
In an effort to help wean India off its traditional reliance on Russia for its defense arsenal, the United States has agreed to sell India military drones and jet engines. This is part of Washington's effort to strengthen India as a regional rival to China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says his visit marks a new chapter in the comprehensive strategic partnership. President Joe Biden, alongside the Indian leader, characterized the relationship between the two democracies as the best it has ever been.
And with this visit, we're demonstrating once more how India and the United States are collaborating on nearly every human endeavor and delivering progress across the board.
Steve Herman, VOA News, Washington.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said Thursday there was fierce fighting along the front lines in its battle with Russia, but his forces were advancing in southern Ukraine and holding defensive lines in the eastern part of the country. VOA's Heather Murdoch is embedded with the Ukrainian military in the eastern part of the country, and she told VOA's Flashpoint Ukraine program the Ukraine military leaders told her the Ukrainian offensive was going well so far.
Some of the soldiers told me, though, that right now it is going quite slow, where they're fighting bit by bit, and that the Russian defenses are really difficult at the moment because in these areas, Russia's had a long time, more than a year, to fortify their defenses, and they were ready for this counteroffensive. So every inch of ground they say they have to fight brutally for.
More on this story and all the stories we're covering can be found on our website, voanews.com. This is VOA News. A U.S. Coast Guard official Thursday confirmed the debris field found near the wreckage of the Titanic contained pieces of the submersible missing since early this week, bringing a grim end to the massive search for the vessel known as the Titan that was lost during a voyage to the famous shipwreck 4 kilometers below the surface. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger told reporters in Boston a remote-operated vehicle, or ROV, operating on the seafloor discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible roughly 500 meters from the bow of the Titanic.
The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
The 5 people on board the Titan included pilot Stockton Rush, who is also the chief executive of the Ocean Gate Expeditions, which operated the submersible, along with passengers Shahzada Dawood, his son Suleiman Dawood, Hamish Harding, and Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargeolet. American Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich lost his latest appeal in a Moscow court Thursday against his pretrial detention for espionage, charges he denies. Reuters correspondent Edward Barron reports.
A judge rejected an application for the Wall Street Journal reporter to be released from Moscow's Lefortovo prison while awaiting trial. The charges, which he denies, carry a jail term of up to 20 years. U.S. Ambassador Lynn Tracy was not allowed inside the hearing, but expressed her disappointment and called him an innocent journalist. The judge's decision came as no surprise. A court denied an earlier request from Gershkovich's lawyers in April that he be transferred to house arrest, agreed to restrictions on his movements, or be granted bail. The Kremlin has said the 31-year-old was caught on a trip to the Ural city of Yekaterinburg, where the FSB security service said he was trying to obtain military secrets. It's provided no detail to support that assertion.
Brazil's Federal Electoral Court, the TSE, began a trial of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro on Thursday. VOA's Diane Roberts has more.
Bolsonaro stands accused of abusing his presidential power last year when he summoned foreign diplomats to publicly vent unfounded attacks on the country's electronic voting system. Bolsonaro's accusers have also included in the charges against him a draft memo for how to overturn the election, found at the house of his former justice minister. In October, the far-right nationalist narrowly lost Brazil's most fraught election in a generation. Diane Roberts, VOA News.
In Washington, I'm Jeff Custer. This is VOA News.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.